What's up, guys? So outside of starting the day off with a dead truck, today's going to be an exciting day. For one, we're going to talk about Gen 1 Raptors, and two, we're getting some new wheels put on the truck. Thank you, Raceline wheels. Today, I'm going to share the story of how I purchased my 2013 Ford Raptor, the cost, the current market value, and if it was worth every penny, or if I overpaid. And we're also going to fix the window tint, because the tint in this truck has like a green hue. It's old, cheap, I don't know what they used, but we're getting that fixed as well. And we're also going to break down the prices of the Gen 1 Raptors. Now, if you guys follow this channel, it's probably one of three reasons. You like Raptors, you dream of owning a Raptor one day, or you own a Raptor. I was all of the above. I'm still number one. I still look at Raptors and just absolutely love them. But when I started this channel, I had a 2013 F-150, and I'd always talk about buying a Raptor. And the one in specific was the Gen 2. And I bought the Gen 2. And now I have a Gen 1, which is mind-boggling because at the time, I could have only dreamt of having one Raptor, let alone two. Let's rewind a bit. Why the 2013 Ford Raptor? Well, the 2013 Ford Raptor was part of the first generation Raptors. 2010 is when they first came out, and that's when they had the 5.4-liter V8, and it was optional to get the 6.2-liter V8. Then once 2011 hit, they just done away with the 5.4. They figured out it was junk, and they just went strictly to the 6.2-liter V8, which makes more sense. They basically ran this motor in Baja for, 3 days straight, full RPMs, and this motor continues to impress everyone day in, day out. There are so many people getting 200, 300,000 miles out of these motors that you're going to end up probably having a transmission issue with this before motor issues. The first generation Raptors ran from 2010 to 2014. Once the 2011s got the 6.2, it stayed with the 6.2 up until 2014. 2013 hit, Ford changed a few more things on the first generation Raptor. One being the projection style headlights, which not only work good, but they just look perfect on this year truck. And the other two main upgrades that they did was adding the My Ford Touch display along with Sync 2 software. And that's why I was specifically looking for a 2013 or a 2014 Ford Raptor. I just wanted the newer touchscreen display. I'd been looking for months for a Gen 1 Raptor, and part of that problem was because I was specifically looking for the 13 or 14. And being in the Midwest, it was just tough finding one locally or even just a few hours away. It seemed like every time I'd find one, it was either just a little too far for me that I wanted to drive, it was either too high in priced, or the price associated with it versus what it needed done to it just did not make sense. And let's be honest, people with a Gen 1, a Gen 2, they think because their truck says Raptor that it's worth way more than what it is. Now, if you've taken very good care of it, you've kept everything up mechanically, it is going to be worth more than the general Raptor. But the problem is there's so many of these people with trucks that have like rust or super high miles, and they're still just asking these outrageous prices that literally don't add up to the market. And we're actually en route to hit up Doug over at Auto Addictions. He's going to get my new wheels mounted and balanced. So right now, I'm just rocking the factory 17-inch wheel that comes on here stock. And I also have the KO2 tire. It's not the factory size. Factory size is 315/70/17. Somebody updated this to the 35 by 12.5/17. It's such a similar size tire that you're not really going to notice a difference. Only thing being that the factory tire is a C rated, which is a 6-ply, to where this is a 10-ply. So you might lose a little ride quality, but I'm going to be honest. I think the payoff of what you get for extra miles out of an E-rated versus the ride, it's worth going to an E-rated tire, especially if you off-road. Now that we got some cosmetics done to the truck, let's get back into the pricing. Now for me, since I was basically honed in on getting a 2013 or a 2014, I was basically searching and destroying Marketplace, Craigslist. People still post on Craigslist, which I'm actually amazed by. And for me, I was trying to stay 20,000. So I was trying to stay $2,000 less, $2,000 more was kind of my deal. Realistically though, if you're looking to be under $20,000, then you basically are going to be looking at a truck, I would say more likely in the 160 to 200,000 range. There are some trucks though that I'd seen that were definitely at the 180, 190 mark, and they were asking over 20 grand, which usually was a dealership. But if they are asking over 20 grand and it's over 160, 170,000 miles, really what comes into play, what kind of shape the truck is in and what kind of maintenance they did. If the truck needs a lot of things done to it, I would not give over 20 grand for it. And of course, there's some people finding like a one-off deal and they get it for like 20 grand and it's got 120,000 miles or something stupid like that. But I'm just telling you majority of what I have found researching the probably last 3 to 4 months. Okay, so now let's break down the overall condition of my 2013 Raptor, the miles that it had, the condition. I bought it with 179,000 on the clock. One of the first things that sticks out right here on the bumper, it's got like a little paint chipping with a little chipping down here. It's more or less on the clear coat. So that's issue number one. The whole truck is clean title, never been wrecked. At least it says it's never been wrecked on Carfax. I don't believe it has. So everything actually looks pretty good on the truck. I do have some rust though, because this is a Midwest truck. So I have some bubbling going on right here. And then you can see under the rocker, that is rusting as well. The other side, the rocker is rusting, but this cab corner is basically perfect with no rust. But you can see the rust down there. Some of the fenders, they have some scratching here, some chipping right there. These are painted, and there is actually a paint that paint matches these perfectly. So maybe in the future I'll do that, but for right now, I'm not really worried about this truck being 100% pristine. The other notable thing that sticks out, it does have running boards, but they're not on it. And that's because the person I purchased them from took them off, because honestly, they're in such bad shape that it made the truck look disgusting. I'm just waiting for it to warm up. It's been freezing here in Iowa. And once it warms up, we're gonna get those suckers sandblasted. My buddy has a complete commercial sandblasting unit that's outside, but it can't be below freezing to sandblast them. We will get those blasted, powder coated. And obviously we just stuck the new wheels on, but these were the tires it had. These tires are actually in really good shape, these KO2s. Someone stuck the aftermarket Etsy decal on it. I prefer the factory OEM style. I don't like that font, but we're also gonna change that and update that to the OEM graphic as well. And we do have some rusting down here on the frame, but that's just gonna kind of be normal with a truck like this, and I'm not really too worried about that. And you can see back here, it's not phenomenal, it's not crazy good. There's a chance that I could redo this down the road. So realistically, the frame, the chassis, body, everything like that, this is a perfect Gen 1 Raptor. And it does have the factory hood decal. It's for sure faded, seen better days. We're gonna end up tearing that off, I think, and putting a new one on eventually. But I've just heard that taking that sucker off takes some elbow grease. So now that you guys have seen the condition of the exterior, at 179,000 miles, I gave $18,000 for this truck. Now, the only things that I noticed after buying it that I kind of would have wished I would have negotiated on the price, but it is what it is. And that is, if you would have just seen a recent video, I just put some freshly rebuilt shocks on it. They're just the OEM Fox shocks that get rebuilt. And I had Mr. Brian over at Hammer Shocks rebuild these. And I will tell you that the shocks that came on this truck were completely blown, and this thing rides so smooth that I'm actually now to the point where I'll just let my Gen 2 set at home and cake miles on this guy. I did mention it has a couple of mods. It's got the Corsa Extreme exhaust, and then it's got the Corsa cold air intake to it. And for the new wheel setup, I went with the Raceline wheel 906B Alphas. It's a heavy duty aluminum wheel with a simulated beadlock and a satin black finish, coming in at 17 by 8.5 inches with the +0 offset. This is a perfect setup for the Raptor, and I really like how deep this lip is for being a +0 offset. And going along with the shocks with things that need fixed on this, I have a cracked windshield. No big deal. I was already told about that. I knew about that. Completely fine with buying the truck with the cracked windshield. And this door harness, these go bad over time, and just the more and more you use it, what happens is the wires right inside this rubber plug end up breaking, and then you're gonna get a door ajar light on your dash all the time. It's very annoying. This harness I purchased off of Amazon for like 30 bucks. Probably took me around an hour to swap out. Pretty easy swap, really. But again, I knew about the windshield and the door harness, and I agreed to that price knowing that those things needed fixed. And the truck already had this tonneau cover, which is just kind of like a bonus. In the interior, rating on a scale of 1 to 10, I wouldn't say it's a 10, I wouldn't say it's a 5. I'd say it's somewhere in between, probably a 7 or an 8. Just your normal wear and tear. This kind of faded off, so I did take one of those red leather dyes and just kind of touch that up to give it a fresh new look. But I'm kind of waiting on a carbon fiber steering wheel, I think, in the future for this guy. I'll link down below where I purchased that red dye if you want to just try to make yours look new and fresh again. But it's basically had those WeatherTechs for most of its life, so all the carpet underneath, everything like that, I've kind of checked that out. Looks really good. One thing to note when you look at the higher mileage Raptors or even the 12th gen F-150, since the seats are similar, is you'll end up seeing a lot of cracking on this side. And these aren't in too bad a shape. The foam doesn't look too compressed down, so pay attention to that when you guys look at some of these used trucks. Sometimes this will be really cracked up and these will be really worn in. And the other thing to note is this mechanism right here. This on my 12th gen F-150, and I see this on the Raptors too. Over time, the way they made this, you can see actually this is cracked right here. But what happens is this piece will come off, and then if you get the aftermarket piece, it just doesn't fit as good as factory. So the fact that this is still intact is good, because these end up just, like I said, this mechanism is kind of just a dumb design, and this is probably going to break sooner than later. And going along with things that I have to repair that I didn't know about, you should be able to hear kind of like a humming noise going on. I mean, I hear it 24/7, and I didn't really hear it as much when I first test drove it because honestly, this Corsa Extreme exhaust is pretty damn loud. So it just didn't really stick out that much, and I just drove it down the road and back, so it didn't really hit me at the time until I started driving it more and more, and I just realized that, hey, there's definitely a humming noise coming from the back. And I took it to my mechanic, and he's saying that we just need to go through and replace all the bearings. He said for him it's probably going to be like a 6-7 hour job. So that right there, parts and labor, I'm assuming is going to be running me around the $1,000 mark. And one of the updates that I already did, because I absolutely love having this, is updating to the Tesla display. If you guys seen my previous video, and I like that I get to retain my Sync 2 system, so I do get to keep that. And the other issue that needs fixed, which isn't going to be as costly of one, maybe labor intensive, I haven't really looked into it, is the AC blower. Let's turn this on, and you can probably kind of hear that noise. And what I've noticed is right now we're on level 1, 2, 3, and once we get into the 3, that's when that noise starts to disappear. And I'm pretty sure it's just the blower. It's probably the bearing or something. So as long as it's off or at 3 or above, the noise disappears. But once you get down to the 2 or the 1, you can hear that noise. Kind of annoying. I looked up the blower wheel, and I think I can get one for like under $100. Not a big deal. And I've taken that assembly apart before. But these trucks hold their value incredibly well. And as long as you're fine with doing a little maintenance, especially when you're purchasing one like I did, over the 150,000 mile range, there's going to be maintenance involved in that, and that's just a given. So you can basically either look at it from this way. You can buy a higher mileage Raptor with possible more maintenance, or you buy one with less miles, pay more up front, but then you still probably are going to have some maintenance to do. I can almost guarantee you, even if you buy one with 100,000, 120,000 miles, you're still probably going to want to get those shocks rebuilt, because it's just not going to ride as good as it used to. The shocks are going to leak over time. So even if I were to purchase maybe one with a little less miles, there's still going to be some maintenance involved, which is why I'm fine paying for a cheaper one and doing the maintenance myself, knowing that, hey, I've updated this stuff and I know that I've had it done the correct way. So there you have it. There's the full story of how much I paid for my 2013 Ford Raptor with some high miles. What do you think? Did I get a good deal? Should I have paid less? Should I have just bought a different truck? Let me know down in the comments below. Wrigley, what do you think? If you guys have any questions about a Raptor you're currently looking at, maybe it's about the price versus the miles, drop it down in the comments. I'll help you out. Somebody will help you out. We'll make sure to get you taken care of. And yeah, so that's all we got for today. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.